Sawadee krap, I'm JP Mestanza. It's Monday, December 11th. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. It's a holiday nightmare for tourists who had been staying at the Kamala resort, formerly known as the Kamala Beach Inn Hotel, as they're scrambling to find alternative accommodation after police served an eviction notice and a notice against trespassing on Friday to kick the hotel operator out.
Tourists had been occupying some 20 rooms in the 120 resort when the notice was issued on December 8th last Friday by Kamala police and tourist police, who arrived to explain the situation to tourists. Police and the property owner also posted copies of the court order authorizing the eviction and documents providing evidence of ownership of the land belonging to Alongkod Kinkeo. Alongkod explained that the land was rented out as an empty lot since 2004 to Kampong Tuakij Co. Ltd. And while the original rental fee was $250,000 baht a year with a gradual increase every 5 years, the Kampong Tuakij Co. Ltd. refused to pay the rent for at least the past 8 years. The case wound its way through the courts over the years, with the Phuket Provincial Court ordering the property to be vacated in 2019, but that was ignored. Then, the Supreme Court of Thailand in June 2020 ruled in favor of the landowner again, but the property remained illegally occupied, he stated. The Kamala Resort, he stated, operated oddly, as the hotel looks closed but tourists still come and go, with a security guard posted at the front. He stated, quote, "The hotel is closed like it's deserted, but there are people coming in and out. There's a security guard in charge, but it's not open all year. Every year, when we enter the area, they find someone to come in, a third party, to prevent us from reclaiming the property." Phuket Tourist Police confirmed that some of the tourists staying at the hotel moved out immediately when the eviction notice was served. Others were allowed to stay until they could find alternative accommodation. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
4 a.m. nightlife hours in Patong and elsewhere around Thailand is set to go into effect this coming Friday. And one of the new measures that is set to be put in place is to have pubs and restaurants that open until 4 a.m. set up sobering up areas and provide breathalyser tests to customers who intend to drink and drive.
The extension of the nightlife hours until 4 a.m. is reportedly set to go into effect at the end of this week for special tour zones in Phuket, Chiang Mai, Chonburi, Bangkok, and Surat provinces. The policy also applies to hotels nationwide. Venues are being told to strictly comply with all the relevant laws, especially the Alcoholic Beverage Control Act, which means no serving customers under 20 years old. The National Alcohol Beverage Policy Committee met on Friday to discuss measures that the Public Health Ministry would like to implement, with officials saying that nightlife venue operators must provide alcohol breathalyzer tests to any patrons who they saw drinking and believe will be driving. Such businesses must also provide areas for drivers with blood alcohol levels above the legal limit of 50 milligrams per deciliter to sober up. Officials say that customers must then wait in that area until they're sober enough to drive. If customers refuse to wait, pub operators must contact the friends and relatives of customers so they can be driven home or provide transport for the customers, which the customer must pay for. The extension of the nightlife hours in certain tourist areas around Thailand is part of a government policy to spur the economy, and it comes just as Thailand enters its tourism high season, with New Year's Eve parties set during the 7 Days of Danger road safety campaign when road accidents increase. Last year, drunk driving was the second biggest cause of road accidents in Thailand, accounting for just over 25% of the total. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
Phuket City Municipality is continuing its campaign to clear drains from debris to help prevent the town from suffering horrendous floods like last year.
Phuket Town Mayor Saroj Angkanapilas explained that workers were dispatched each day to clear waste in ditches and drains at various locations throughout Phuket City Municipality area. In addition, waste and sewage workers in Phuket Town were dispatched to clear out all the debris near the pumping station at the end of Bang Yai Canal. Efforts to prevent flooding in Phuket Town were ramped up during the rainy season this year, with special focus on monitoring the water level in the Bang Yai Canal, which runs through the heart of the Phuket Town. Several times throughout the rainy season this year, the water level in the canal rose to worrying levels, prompting officials to have emergency services on 24-hour standby and deploying pumps throughout the town to displace rainfall runoff. Mayor Saroj has already presented a drainage system construction project costing 226 million baht to help protect the Phuket Old Town area from repeated flooding. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
should just before you break a bone.
A family of tourists are now recovering at a local hospital here on the island after the van they were traveling in collided head-on with a pickup truck on the Muang Mai Barampara Road in Talang this morning.
Police say the accident took place shortly before 9:30 a.m. this morning on the boundary between Tambon Tepkasatri and Tambon Paklok. When they arrived, the 23-year-old Thai driver and his 4 passengers, all Danish nationals from the same family, were injured, including a 13-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy. All 4 were taken to Talang Hospital before being transferred to Bangkok Hospital Phuket in Phuket Town. The 59-year-old driver of the other vehicle, a Ford pickup truck, was also injured at the scene, though the extent of his injuries were not disclosed. The passenger van driver explained that he had picked up the family from the Phuket International Airport and were taking them to Alpol Pier when the accident happened. According to the initial investigation by police, the driver of the pickup truck was attempting to overtake a car on the one-lane each-way road when the collision happened, as both were said to be unable to avoid the collision. The investigation is ongoing. For more, visit thephuketnews.com.
Phuket is coming off a big weekend with not only Her Majesty Queen Suthida participating in the 35th King's Cup Regatta, but the Phuket Carnival in Patong kicking off the tourist high season with concerts and lots of pageantry. And officials say the whole weekend, is boosting tourism numbers.
Her Majesty Queen Suthida joined the crew on racing yacht THA-72 during the Phuket King's Cup Regatta, which took place off of Phuket's southwestern coast, and she even climbed the mast of the 52-foot yacht. With Her Majesty on board, THA-72 won both of Saturday races in the IRC 0 class, but with 3 DNS or did not starts on races 4, 5, and 6, THA-72 placed 3rd overall in the class by the regatta's end. After joining the team for photos and more, Her Majesty oversaw the official handing out of trophies and awards to the regatta's winners during a ceremony on Saturday. Elsewhere in Phuket, the Phuket Carnival in Patong saw concerts all weekend long by local and national acts. The whole thing kicked off on Friday evening with the Patong Parade, the 37th edition of the annual parade with floats from Phuket's major businesses. Today is also Constitution Day in Thailand, a public holiday, which made it a long weekend. Authorities say that the Phuket tourism industry saw an estimated 40,000 tourists arriving each day this past weekend, both domestic and international, with the average occupancy rate at hotels around the island currently hovering at around 85%, a whole 10% higher than during the same period in 2019 prior to the COVID-19 pandemic and the biggest tourism year for Thailand. The local tourism and sports chief announced today that Phuket is on pace to reach its target of 9 million tourists this year. For more, visit thephuketnews.com.
Thank you so much for joining us today here on Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. We'll see you on Tuesday. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000 and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.